Once you're familiar with the idea of inverses in simple one-step equations like this, in other words, once you're used to the idea of how to get rid of something that's being added to the x, we can move on to the next inverse is what do we do if something is being subtracted. So just in case, if you are not familiar with what to do when something is added, you can still watch this video because they are two completely different skills. However, it might be helpful for you to go back into my Solving Equations playlist and start with the video that talks about what to do if something's being added. Again, you can still keep watching. This is still going to be relevant to you. It just might be a little bit helpful. All right, so what I like to do is to make sure that students know the equal sign really doesn't move. Even if we change its exact location, we don't change its position. And so I like to teach students to anchor that equal sign down with a line. This is where our equal sign is always going to be. We're going to look at our idea of inverses. Inverses, remember, are our undo button. They help us undo the thing that is being done to the x. We're trying to find out, what is this? This is our question mark. And this has something subtracted to end up equaling 6. So inverses, the first set that we learn is adding and subtracting undo each other. And in this case, we are subtracting that 3. And so in order to get rid of -3, we would add 3. And this is an equal sign, so once we add it to this side, we have to add it to the other. Now what this does is it sets us up to be able to do an addition problem, like a little vertical addition problem, where we're adding this, and this with the equal sign staying here the entire time. Let's go ahead and add those together now. X doesn't have anything to add to it, so we just bring him down. A -3 and a +3 cancel each other out. The equal sign stays exactly where it is, and 6 plus 3 is 9. So our answer is x equals 9. Let's do another one just like this. Since this is -9, we would need to add 9. First, we're going to anchor down that equal sign, and then we can add 9. Once we do it to this side, we have to do it to this side. Now we're ready to set up our addition. X plus nothing is x. -9 and +9 cancel each other out and turn to 0. The equal sign always stays right here, and 2 plus 9 is 11. So x equals 11. The next variation has some things that are mixed up. You can see now we have what it's equal to on the left, and our x is over here on the right-hand side. If this looks really unfamiliar to you, then just take a breath and remember that the first thing we always do, the thing that lets us get pen to paper, pencil to paper, is to put a line where our equal sign belongs. That's the way that we can always begin. Now we're going to look and see, okay, my x is over here, and so I know I want to get rid of anything that's on that side with the x, so the x can be alone. That means that it's the 8 I need to get rid of. Since it is subtracting 8, I want to add 8. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. Now, just like before, I'm going to start here and add vertically. Then move here, then move here. Don't go out of place just because this is mixed up. Your addition is still just going to go straight down each column. 2 plus 8 is 10. Equal sign stays exactly where it is. X plus nothing is x. and a -8 and a +8 cancel each other out and make 0. Now, due to the symmetric property, all I have to do is flip these around, and that gives me my answer. What I want you to do is go ahead and pause your video at this point and see if you can solve this one on your own, then start the video up again to see if you've solved it correctly. Ready to check and see if you've solved it right? All right, so first of all, we anchor the equal sign. It seems a little silly to do it with one-step equations, but I really encourage you to do it each time. The x is over here, so I know I need to get rid of the -5. I get rid of it by adding 5 to both sides. That's my inverse. Now I'm going to make sure not to mix things up. I need to do this column. 11 plus 5 is 16. My equal sign stays where it is. My x plus nothing stays x. And -5 and +5 cancel each other out. So my answer is x equals 16. There's one more variation that we want to try. Now, this variation might look really scary, especially if you're not used to working with negatives. If you are unfamiliar with negatives and you want to learn those now, check out my playlist on integer operations and everything that you need to know about integers. However, even if you're not familiar with negative numbers quite yet, you can still solve this problem because we're just going to treat this like it's a subtraction. We're still going to anchor the equal sign down, and we're going to look at that as here's where our x is, and this is what I need to get rid of. This is a -6, and so I want to add 6. So we're really still talking about subtraction. We have to make sure to do it to both sides and then set this up. Now, just because it looks new doesn't mean that we do it any differently. We're still going to start over here and add these numbers. 4 plus 6 is 10. Equals stays where the equal sign is. -6 and +6 cancel each other out, and x plus nothing is x. And even though we have this gap, and even though it's flipped around, we've gotten x by itself, and we know that x equals 10. Go ahead and pause your video for this next one and see if you can solve it on your paper by yourself first. All right, let's see how you did. Anchor down that equal sign, and then look to make sure here's my x, this is what I'm getting rid of. So I'm going to add 1 to this side, add 1 to this side, and do my addition line. 3 plus 1 equals 4. Equal sign stays put. A -1 and a +1 cancel each other out. X plus nothing is x. And so my answer is x equals 4. Make sure to check the description below because I've given you a free worksheet that goes along with this lesson.